Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic. Today we're discussing the Eternals, which is a Marvel Comics franchise from a long time ago, but has come into the mainstream with the announcement of a film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now we have some casting announcements in which characters will be appearing, so now is a good time to run through who will be appearing and who these Eternals are. Before we can talk about Eternals, we need to cover what the Celestials are. These are massively powerful cosmic beings who have interceded in the development of many different races for a variety of purposes. They experimented with races and tweaked the way that different races evolved. These Celestials are even said to have had a hand in creating the first multiverses. On Earth, the Celestials created what we now call the Eternals, an immortal line of soldiers, each gifted with unique powers and abilities. We'll cover them in depth in a second, but it's also worth noting that they created other offshoots of humanity, including what are called deviants. These humans had unstable genes that caused them to struggle, including a low birth survival rate and unpredictable and often harmful mutations. One famous deviant you may know, Thanos, who witnessed the fall of Titan, a planet formerly full of Eternals and other deviants. The Celestials also planted the seed known as the X gene, that would allow humans to evolve later in life into what we now call mutants. But back to the Eternals. They flourished on Earth in constant war with the Deviants. This is thousands and thousands of years ago, before much of our recorded history. They settled cities across Earth, including Olympia in Greece and Oceania deep in the Pacific Ocean. These Celestials would return to Earth occasionally to check out their experiments and would usually wreak judgment upon what has happened. In one of these instances, we see the Eternals step in to create an arc when the Celestials cause a catastrophic flood to destroy all life. You'll see instances like this throughout history that feature Eternals, such as in ancient Greece, where the Eternals were believed to be Greek gods, or in South America, where they were believed to be gods to the Aztec, the Incas, the Mayas. We run up until modern day, with the Eternals hiding in plain sight and influencing the events of the world. Let's start diving into who some of these Eternals are. Let's begin with one of the leaders of the Eternals, Ajak. In the comics, Ajak is a male figure, but has been cast as Salma Hayak in the films. Ajak was based in South America, believed by the Incas to be their god Quetzalcoatl. Ajak is put in a slumber in these pyramids, waiting for when the Celestials return, and then he will act as a mediator between the Eternals and the Celestials. This culminates in a prominent story where a Celestial, called the Dreaming Celestial, is awakened, but chooses to communicate with another Eternal instead, causing Ajak to get quite jealous, their only main job being taken by someone else. Macari, this Eternal that was spoken to by the Dreaming Celestial, is played in the films by Lauren Ridloff, a deaf actress who previously appeared on The Walking Dead. This is another gender-swapped role, with the comic Macari a man, wearing a bright red suit and able to move incredibly fast, often seen throughout history as characters like Hermes from Greek mythology. Most Eternals also have the ability to do things like fly, have incredible strength and durability, and most of them can even manipulate energy or molecules to shoot blasts or alter matter, so Macari can do most of these things as well. Near ancient Greece, the Eternals and the actual Greek gods had a pact, and to seal this pact, one of the leaders named his daughter in honor of the goddess Athena, leading us to Athena, played in the film by Angelina Jolie. Again, they were often mistook for the gods themselves, and supposedly in the Marvel Universe, the city of Athens was actually built in honor of Athena. She is a powerful warrior and has some additional ability to control her own body's molecules, able to heal from virtually any injury. She can also produce heat and light, as well as minor telepathy and telekinesis. Next up, we have the Eternal known as Kingo Sunin, played here by Kumail Nanjiani. In the comics, this character chooses to appear as a Japanese samurai and becomes an action star in Japanese film, though the Pakistani Nanjiani doesn't quite fit that bill. Kingo doesn't do much in the comics, so it's likely that his role will be changed and adapted to allow for Nanjiani's comedic brilliance to shine through. Up next, we have Phastos, a weaponsmith who chooses to be non-violent himself. He crafted Kingo's samurai sword and other notable weapons. He doesn't participate in war, instead wallowing in a mysterious depression, seeking something meaningful in life to fill a void that hasn't quite been explained to us. Actor Brian Tyree Henry will be playing this role, and hopefully he gets a fleshed out backstory in the films. Next up, we have the character Gilgamesh, sometimes called the Forgotten One, played here by famous Korean-born actor Dong-seok Ma, or Don Lee. Where other Eternals kept hidden from humans for the most part, Gilgamesh relished in helping humanity, at the time mistaken for characters like Samson and Hercules. He did fight alongside the actual Hercules for a time, though he had no memory of his Eternal status or where he came from. When he did learn, he insisted to continue helping humans, and was instead locked away in the city of Olympia for hundreds of years. In modern day, he's rekindled his friendship with the Greek demigod Hercules, and they even became roommates for a short time. Now we cover what is likely our gateway character, the hero known as Icarus, played by Richard Madden, known for his roles in Bodyguard and as Robb Stark in Game of Thrones. Icarus is the character who created the Ark during the Flood, as well as other heroic acts throughout time. When a major threat appears on Earth, it's Icarus who seeks to awaken Ajax and communicate with the Celestials. Icarus is often considered the most powerful Eternal on Earth, or one of the most, and often sits as what is called Prime Eternal, which allows him the ability to initiate what's called a Unimind, where Eternals can meld together to form a new species, a cosmic being able to defeat something that they alone cannot. The more Eternals you have, the more powerful and safer this Unimind becomes. Doing it with less people can be dangerous and risky. With our last cast announcement here, we dive into what is likely the story of our film. The last cast member announced was Lia Mchugh, a young girl who will be playing a character called Sprite. Sprite is an Eternal, but appears as a child, a boy in the comics. He doesn't age, which can be frustrating, so Sprite often seeks out ways to prank or demean the other Eternals, including one prominent arc in which he caused the other Eternals to lose their memory and believe that they were merely humans. This is likely a possible story arc here, with Icarus seeking out the other Eternals and trying to get them to remember their past lives, though they fight this, believing that they're just average humans. He must get them to remember in time to stop a world-ending threat. So what do you think? Do you think this could offer some insight on the history of the world created in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Do you think the Eternals have been influencing the events we've already witnessed in 20-some movies? Do you think they might use the Eternals to set up how the X-Men might eventually appear in the MCU, with the explanation of the X gene? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know if you think this movie sounds interesting. Thanks for watching.